Okay, who does not love an individual budget calculation and certification tool? I mean, please, this is great stuff, guys. So this is a document that the Department of Developmental Services created. Some people love it, some people no. Most people just accept that this is a document and that's what we're going to try to use. So right here, we're going to put in some fake information, right? So participant name. This is like the personal data stuff. We're going to see if we can get this to go in. Personal data. Let's see. Let's call her Kelly. Kelly is the name of this person. Her UCI is that 7-digit number that's on every single piece of paper you've ever received from the regional center system. It's often at the very bottom of the page, the top of the page, the middle of the page. It's all over. It's a UCI, unique customer identifier, something like this. It's like in place of a social security number. It's their magic number. It's 7 digits long. And we're going to call mine 0000000. Great. My birthday is none of your business. So we're just going to type in here 1, 2, 34, because who knows? Maybe that's the year I was born. I just look really good for my age. Regional center, I'm going to say all the regional centers. And basically, you're just going to put in the information for your loved one on this document, okay? Service coordinator's name, and then the prior 12-month period. That's just the dates, okay? Now, most of you aren't going to have to do this yourself. You have an amazing service coordinator, and your service coordinator is going to complete this form for you. And that's great. I have actually taught some of your service coordinators how to use this form, and they might love it. But it's possible that your service coordinator has never helped someone through this process. So I'm going to just teach you the basics. Let's assume that the amount on the report that we're talking about here, the report that they're referring to is the annual spending that has already occurred in the last 12 months. I'm recording this in July of 2021. So it'd be like August 1st, 2020 through July 31st of 2021, right? That's ideal. Let's say that we spent $8,767.65. I just made that number up. All right. That's what we spent last year. Many unmet needs because of COVID. That's going to go in your annualization table. So you're going to get down here, and this is not the easiest form to move around because all the calculating tools are a bit goofy. So we're going to go like this and click on this service provided. We're going to call it respite. Okay. Service code for respite is, I think, 082. Oh, I might have to edit that later. So then the service, like, what is the annualized cost? Does this have an annualized cost? Yes, it does, because it's an annual cost, right? How many months was it unfunded? Well, you and your family had COVID. Unfortunately, for 4 months, you didn't have respite come in. So we're going to say 4 months. And then the rate, and then we're going to add all these pieces of information. I'm going to say that the amount that we missed was $2,432.61. Again, making it up. What you'll see happens though, as we go down the page, if it ever lets me go down the page, maybe on your computer, this is going to work really, really easily. The only problem that you had last year was respite. You weren't able to use it. You wanted to use it. You were out of commission for 4 months. It wasn't safe to have anyone come in, and that's what you did. Group contract table is typically, I think, and I've never had to use this with a family, but when you have a group contract for something like transportation. So your loved one is one of 6 people who's being transported, and that contract is for the group. I've never had to use this one. If you do use this, you're going to need to ask your service coordinator how they need to do that. And then unmet needs, the things that we didn't have last year, for example, might have been sexual education, right? Or maybe they were, let's put that one in. And I think that usually runs a certain number of months. I don't have the service code in my head. It's something like $101 per hour. Let's call it 101.25. Oh, sorry, the amount in hours. And I think it's something like usually, let's do this, 20 hours over 3 months, something like that. It's not going to be forever. And then here, the average amount is, it's not cheap, 20. So I don't do math in my head. I'm going to write this here, 102.5 times 20 hours, and that would be 2050, I think, if I did that right. And then that amount that you're putting in here is, oops, yep, 2050. And then that amount is going to add in as an unmet need lower down on your page. So what you're looking at here is your unmet needs, changes in circumstances, things like that. They're all going to go on this page. You'll notice that in this number 5 area, the baseline is the amount that was totally expended on your loved one last year. So when you look at the subtotal in part 5, well, let's go back up to part 5 if it lets us. I'm sorry, it's just a very hard to navigate form, at least on my Mac. Maybe you have a PC and have better luck, or maybe you just have better tech skills than I have. But part 5 is going to be that. Okay, so if you go to annualization table total, that's in number 5, calculate the budget subtotal. What they're going to do is take that baseline amount, the total amount that was spent last year, the annualization table total, what could have been spent but wasn't for some reason, like the authorized expenses that were unmet needs. For people who are going into this during COVID, there are lots of months where people they couldn't get staff. That wasn't safe to bring staff into the house for whatever reason. And those are the hours you're going to put into that table in table number 2. And then we've got the group contract table that might be something like group transportation or group something. And I have no experience using that, so I'm not going to make it up. And then we have the newly identified needs table. That's the new stuff. For example, maybe now your loved one's going through puberty, you need sexual education taken care of, and you have that in this space. Maybe you have some other need that was not addressed. Maybe the only service you had was respite, but you need socialization groups and clubs, things like that. That's where you put that. That's in the table number 4. And then that does a subtotal. So right now we're at $13,248.26. Now, when you come down here, the things that will come out, non-continuing services. So let's say you had so much respite, you couldn't use it all. The service description of that would be in here with the amount on the bottom of page 3 of 5. You can see that right here. Make it a little bigger and see if I can still show you what it is. The non-continuing services are the things that aren't happening anymore. For example, maybe you had socialization, you've used all of it up, and now you don't have it anymore. That amount of money would be put here. So let's assume that we had socialization in that original budget. I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to say it cost $345.10. Okay. Now, when I come down here, this should all populate the numbers. And then it'll also, it's not populating. There it is. It's all kind of glitchy. Just know that. And I don't know anyone who really does love this tool. Just know that too. You go down to the bottom, and then it'll subtract this amount out of the total, the subtotal minus this information you already have to figure out what your budget probably is going to be. Okay. So I'm going to try to get to the bottom of this page with you. Get all the way down there. I just use a different view. That's my magic here. And right here, let's try to go back. See if I can make it look prettier. Then you have this 345 removed. Now my total is $12,903.16. And you can do a lot of creative work with $12,903.16. So hopefully that's helpful.